Continue here. The Save SA Smelters movement has thrown its weight behind Cabinet's decision to impose an export tax on raw chrome leaving the country. The movement says this will be beneficial to the local economy, but they also worried that the policy has not yet been implemented. To give us more details on this, I'm joined by Save SA Smelters spokesperson, that's Elias Mokwana. Mr. Mokwana, a pleasure to have you on the show this afternoon. So firstly, tell us a bit more about what Save SA Smelters is and what the organization is advocating for.
Good day and good day to our poor and jobless masses of South Africans. Save SA Smelters is an organization that was founded after we saw smeltering industry collapsing in the eyes of our leaders. We took this initiative to try and save the least of our jobs that are still there and try to bring those that are now gone back. That can only be attained when our leaders are true to us and true to themselves. A policy to impose tax on the exportation of our raw materials was passed in 2019. Up until this day, it hasn't been implemented. And I can tell you now, we are at the risk of losing several thousand jobs after that, which we have lost already. That is why we came into being.
I want us to expand a bit more on this proposal of imposing this anti-chrome tax. Talk us through what your stance as Save SA Smelters is. Look,
as indicated, that Save SA Smelters was initiated or founded to save jobs in the smeltering industry. We want the government to look into this thieving or stealing of our raw materials, especially to China, which are not taxed. And that leaves our smelters in a dire situation. I can tell you now, it's a pity if you can come to Lydenburg, Machado or Richards Bay, where we had smelters that were top of the range or top class. They are now lying fallow there because our leaders are sleeping with their boots on duty. So we try to speak to the presidency, the DMR, the DTI, all of them, the one points the finger to the other. So hence Save SA Smelters, we are still calling to those that says are our leaders, that if indeed you are our leaders, please listen to our plight, save our jobs, bring those that are now out back.
It's quite interesting that you reflect on the lives in mining towns. In many mining towns, poverty is still quite rife, and many are still without jobs despite the natural resources which are mined in their communities. Just give us, or rather expand on your assessment in this regard.
You know, it is, as I'm saying, it's a pity, it's very disgusting, and looking into, I'm going to put maybe the town of Lydenburg where I am residing. The Glencoe had a smelter there which was assisting in all aspects. Water, electricity, infrastructure development. And as I'm speaking to you now, if you can come to that town, it looks like a ghost town. Robots are not working, roads are potholed. Now, I don't know if to call them potholes now or maybe swimming pools. Electricity disruptions are a daily living. You know, it's bad. It's really bad what is happening within those towns where smelters were and are now closed. And there's no word. We see our leaders, our politicians going up and down recently in their different T-shirts, colors, different sizes, but none of them talks about how to create jobs. Instead, they tell us that they will be creating jobs, but how? If they fail to protect the least that we've got, how are they going to create jobs when we are bleeding jobs in the smeltering industry at the rate at which we are?
Mr. Mokwana, I can really tell in your tone that it does sound like you are in a very arduous and frustrating process, this to and fro process where it seems that government is also dragging its feet on this issue. Now, you're seeking action, and the kind of words that you're expressing here is that government should act expeditiously and implement this anti-chrome tax.
Very true. That's very true. Hence, I'm saying those that are saying are leading us, it seems like they are clueless about leading us because they've passed. There is a law that has already been passed by Parliament to impose this tax levy, but it hasn't been implemented thus far. And in the main, we are losing jobs. We are at the risk of losing over 80,000 jobs in the near future if that is not taken into consideration. Indeed, we are speaking from a very, very broken heart, and because we see these things, we see our people out there without jobs, with seeing trucks carrying our raw chrome to China, and that clearly benefits the Chinese and all those other European and Asian countries. And the most hurting part is that we are owning over 66% of chromium ore in South Africa. We should be dictating to whoever that wants chrome on what to do with it, on how to sell it at our price. But unfortunately, we have been dictated to. The chrome is being taken as raw as it is not being taxed. And yeah, it is bad. It is very bad.
Let's say that this levy or this tax is actually imposed. What effect will it have in turn?
We've got an organization called Chrome SA. Chrome SA, they are an organization that really does not belong to this planet, because the planet that which they're living in has got no reality and humanity. The effect of, I'm mentioning Chrome SA because they are anti-tax, because they are benefiting out of this siphoning off of our mineral resources to outside countries. And theirs is all about profits. So you ask the question of how are we going to benefit? Definitely the imposition of tax levy on our raw materials, it is going, one, to benefit our national treasury. Two, there will be no march of taking our chrome outside. Instead, the chrome that is being taken out will be smelted it will be taken into our smelters to be processed there. That says definitely there will be more jobs created. Those that are still there, they will be saved. So in short, the imposition of tax levy has got very, very positive outcomes if it can be taken into consideration.
Now, before I let you go, I also want to reflect a bit on your statement. You also warned that without implementing the tax on chrome, the local chrome industry will be gutted. Please explain.
Very true. If this is not being implemented, remember we are still, currently we have seen a very, very increasing number of illegal chrome mining, especially in the areas of Beresford and Limpopo. And that definitely is going to have a very negative impact on companies like Samanco and other smelters around. That says, definitely if this is not imposed and the raw material is taken out as it is, we've got no future in this country.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Mr. Mokwana. That was Elias Mokwana, the spokesperson for Save SA Smelters, speaking to us about their plight there, where they are backing a proposal to impose a tax on the chrome industry.